Hey everyone, this is Angela and Ryan with LostReviews.com, and we are here to review a new movie called Beyond the Black Rainbow.
It's very, very good. You know, this is always the highlight of my day.
Okay, so this is a very, very weird film that most people probably wouldn't even like because it's very, very strange, by director Panos Cosmatos, and the trailer kind of leads you to think about movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or Cube, or The Cell,
like
or
Altered States. You told me.
Yeah, Altered States. So I'm watching the trailer, and I'm watching the first 30 minutes or so, and I'm really, really into it because you've got just a very vast overexposure of reds and whites in this film. So, and the soundtrack by this Jeremy Smith from Black Mountain, I think it was, did this very like heavy,
it's all electronic,
synth,
right?
80s kind of vibe that just really plays well with the film.
And I think everybody that I've heard talk about this movie, I haven't seen it, but the number one thing I've been hearing about this movie, everybody is talking about this score. Everybody wants a copy of the score. That
is, I believe, the strongest point that this entire film has. That entire score. Now, I mean, it's going to be split down whether or not you really like 80s synth music and whether you don't. But it really just plays well. Like, the kind of music that you hear in that is kind of reminiscent of, if you've seen Drive. It's got a heavy score like that.
Very cool.
Except there's no lyrics. It's just the music. So, the story, I'll try to explain the plot, but that's even misleading. The plot is described as a young girl named Elena is trapped in this sort of chemical jail cell.
Or something?
She's got kind of this chemical jail cell on her that's called Arboria that she's trying to escape from. There's basically three characters in the movie. There's a young girl named Elena, who is the only patient apparently. There's the doctor, who is creepier than anything, and then there's the guy who created it. So the film starts with kind of a, if you remember in Eternal Sunshine, there's kind of a mock commercial of, do you need to erase that person from your life? They do a commercial kind of like that describes Arboria as this very happy place that, you know, we're using our mind and technology together to create this infinite universe, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. It's obviously not used like that. You find out that the movie starts off in 1988 or 83, one of those 80s years.
That's a pretty big time frame.
It's not really. It's it starts right in the beginning. It pops up.
Sometimes in between 10 years, who knows?
Sometime in there it starts up. So it's taken place, and then it also flashes back in the middle to 1966 when this Arboria thing was created. So I don't know if I should delve into talking about the actual aspects of it for people who actually want to go out there and watch it, but I also don't know if it would ruin anything.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I think, you know, just now let's move on to kind of like what you thought of the film.
Okay.
I think the movie kind of hinges on the act of the unknown about it.
It's a very, very slow-paced film. You have to be in the mood to watch something very, very meticulous. There is basically only one line of dialogue throughout the film. The girl has maybe one line in the entire film. The doctor is the one who does most of the speaking, and he does it in sort of an Agent Smith from The Matrix kind of way, where he speaks very slowly and deliberately, but he doesn't come off as powerful like Agent Smith would. It comes off as dirty, creepy man.
Oh, that sounds good.
But, okay, here's the thing I thought that was most fascinating. This guy looks exactly and has the exact same mannerisms as Patrick Bateman.
Oh, very cool.
So I kind of like that. It's played by Michael Rogers. He played this guy named Barry Nyle. He has just like this such contempt for life. And he just hates everything in life so much. And you could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his face. And that story actually does, I believe, become the actual arc of the entire film.
So did he just have to kill a lot of people?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I don't want to kind of ruin it, but it's along the lines of some very psycho stuff. Overall, I really did not like this film. I wanted to, and the first half of it I thought was brilliant because you're getting into that story, you're kind of figuring out everything.
So you enjoyed the world, you enjoyed getting to know the world, but once you got to know the world,
yeah, once you get to know the world, then it kind of switches over and you're trying to get to know these two characters. Well, they never play into the girl at all. She never says anything, she hardly shows any emotion, she's locked in a box the entire movie, and she escapes very, 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 very slowly. So But the man, the doctor, is the one you start finding out more and more about by that flashback, and you just really don't like him once you figure out. I mean, I guess you're supposed to feel sorry for him maybe for what he's been through, but I personally just did not like him.
So is that the problem you really had with the movie, is you were supposed to like this character, you're supposed to have involvement with this character, but you were just kind of grotesque?
You're supposed to not like this guy, especially when you get to the end. I mean, that part was done correctly, but I just personally, I hate watching films that make you watch grotesque acts of violence in like towards young women.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
And when it's involved with like father-daughter kind of like relationship things going on, he went into a whole creepy dimension about, you know, 1/3, 2/3 into the movie. Yes.
So it's successful.
If that's what he was going for, then yes. I mean, there's almost like alien undertones to this guy because of he goes through these morphs. He's a different person. It makes sense why he's so detached from the world. And I just really, really did not like him. But there were definitely a couple of things. Like, she has this kind of a telekinesis kind of power. Like, she can kill you with her brain or kind of. Okay. That's why Scanners. I guess they're holding her brain in there or whatever. But there were so many problems with the film that I couldn't get into. There were so many plot points that never developed. There was never an arc. There was never a protagonist that I cared about. I mean, the soundtrack, although it is fantastic, it can easily put you to sleep because there is no dialogue throughout the film. You're just simply watching facial expressions of people sitting in rooms with lots and lots of heavy red lights. And there was these undescribable kind of robotic guys that walked around every once in a while. You don't really know what they are. It was just, I mean, I guess it's a very abstract film. You do have to buy into the idea. You do have to sit with an open mind and kind of let it fester in your mind and try to see what you can come up with. But I watched this with somebody else, so we were kind of talking back and forth about, do you think that's what this is? And we were both kind of on track at the same time.
I like it when movies do that. So I hate to hear that you're saying that you don't like this, but it's a film that sparked a conversation. It's not just, you know, we go to see so many movies that you go to see and you just see it, just like, that's horrible. That's pretty much the end of the conversation. But you were trying to, you know, dissect this film and figure it out.
During the film we were. During the film we were
talked during the movie.
Well, we were at home. I mean, it was a screener, so we were at home as just the two of us. But afterward, yes, we did talk a bit, but both of us agreed it was it was overall a disgusting concept that did not leave a good, clean feeling on you at all. Like I literally had to go watch a mind-numbing hilarity comedy to kind of get myself out of the funk that this film put me into.
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
And yeah, and
that's an awesome box cover cut right there. That's awesome.
Okay, so props I will give to this film is the lighting and like kind of direction, cinematography. I'll give it was really kind of fantastic, new wave kind of way, and the score was amazing. I will probably get the score because it was just so creepy and. Well, as long as I can listen to that without having those creepy feelings of the film come back. So maybe not. But
so it touched you in the bad way.
It was definitely a bad touch kind of movie. So if you're into bad touch kind of movies, it probably, I can't remember how long it ran, maybe an hour and a half, but it felt closer to 2 hours. I mean, there was definitely a point in the movie where I thought, this is really dragging on. And then there's no dialogue, there's nothing to move me forward. You're just staring and just, what is happening? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where this is going.
So it's just a strange movie.
Very, very strange.
Okay, so why don't you give it a rating?
Oh my gosh. Well, see, now after talking about it with you, I feel bad because when I got out of when I first finished the movie, I thought it was terrible. It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And now talking about it, yes, you do make some points that it is successful in certain aspects of it. It's definitely not an epic fail in what it was trying to do, but it's just not a movie for me. It's not a movie for a lot of people. Probably 70% of people who watch movies would not like this movie at all.
So maybe suggest people to see it and decide on their own and just kind of like swish your way out of this?
Maybe not give a rating at all because I kind of feel like tying down any number is just not right because there's certain aspects that are good about the movie, but overall I greatly disliked this film.
So if you're a strange, sick bastard that likes a dirty, bad touch movie, you're going to love the hell out of this. But if you're a woman that doesn't like to see women attacked and abused.
Even without that plot, the reason I wanted to watch this film after seeing the trailer is I love those movies that kind of take place in the 80s that are kind of slow paced and really weird, mind altering kind of concepts. Yeah, I saw Altered States, and that altered my mind. That changed my mind. I love that film so much. So I kind of thought it was on par with that. But I mean, it does hold up to that 80s synth pop kind of music and the tonicity of the film, but the storyline is so depraved of any kind of like real human nature that it just, it's disgusting to me.
You say that and I want to watch it. I have to know why you had just this film of disgust all over you while you watch this movie. I can't sit here and not know why. So you saying you didn't like it is going to make a lot of people go see it. Okay,
well then I guess I'm going to help them out then. Bye.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I like it when, you know, people don't like a film, but it's not to the point where they're like, you should never go see that. Because, well, no, I guess that's exactly what you're saying. But when you tell me, never see that movie, I'm going to see the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to have.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying never go see it. Obviously, there's going to be people out there who really get it more than I do, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been compared to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, cool.
In the pacing and the lack of dialogue kind of way. But all the same, I can like that film, but not like this.
Yeah,
so.
that's, hey.
Everyone has their opinion.
That's the best part about movies.
Anyone else out there who's seen the film, I would love to hear some opinions of, you know, agreeing with or not. But that's my opinion of it. It's a very strange film. It's definitely going to be for like 2% of the film people out there.
Yeah.
And it is going to intrigue people to go out there and check it out. So.
All right, well that is it.
Yep, that was called Beyond the Black Rainbow. So go check that out or don't.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, bye.